God commands worship. Why does God command worship? I told you last Sunday. Does God need worship? No, He doesn't. Why? Because He has created enough beings to worship Him. But yet look at this. Exodus 20, verse 4. You must not make for yourself an idol of any kind or an image of anything in the heavens or on the earth or in the sea. You must not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God who will not tolerate your affection for any other gods. Why? He's insecure? He has a big ego? Why does God say things like this? Always ask why. Look at this, 2 Kings 17, verse 35. For the Lord had made a covenant with the descendants of Jacob and commanded them, do not worship any other gods or bow down before them or serve them or offer sacrifice to them, but worship only the Lord. Why does He command His people to worship? I'll tell you why. Because as human beings, we will worship something and not Him. We will worship something else. God knows if they don't worship me, there is someone who will grab them and take their worship. He's that fellow who was an orchestra in heaven and got cast out. The devil wants your worship. And we say, Pastor Chi, we'll never worship the devil. Are you crazy? We are good Christians. We don't worship the devil. Why, you think he's going to come with horns and a pitchfork and a long red tail and come and say, worship me, worship me? No, he doesn't. He's not a cartoon character or something like that. But he wants worship. How do we know he wants worship? He wanted Jesus to worship him. Come on. You know what I'm talking about? In the wilderness, when Jesus goes for 40 days of fasting, he comes and he says, if you are the Son of God. First he tries to throw him off from his identity as the Son of God. You know, if you want what you're really after, worship me. I give you what you want. And Jesus says, he goes back to the word, as it is written, you shall worship the Lord your God and no one else. Since we don't worship any other God, let me ask you, how do you spend your time? What occupies your time during the week? What occupies your mind during the week? If it isn't God, then you're worshiping something else. Many of us will worship our goals. We will worship because we'll think about it, we'll analyze it, we'll do everything we can with all the time we have, how to get there. That's all I'm thinking about. And you don't have time for this other God, this one who says, worship me alone. We don't have time. Yeah, you are important, but right now, this is a little more important than you. So can you just stay here? I'll come back to you, okay? I'll get back to you, but till then you stay back here. Because right now, I'm a man or I'm a woman on a mission. And that's my goal. And I must achieve this somehow. And then you know what I do? Once I achieve it, I'll do things for you. And we even make deals. The very first commandment, the greatest commandment is to love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. But we say, you can excuse that part for this little period of time. Till I sort this out. This is the most important thing in life. And when I get this, then I'll do things for you and your church and your people also. But that's what I'm after. What do you think that is? That is your God. That is what you're worshipping. We will worship what we want. We'll be behind that. We'll be worshipping our goals and ambitions. And it takes priority over anything with God. But yet the first commandment, if you are a Christian, is to love God above everything else. I'm talking about those who claim to be Christians. That is the first and the greatest commandment. You push that aside. You think any of the other commandments have a chance? And this is God saying, come. The devil is after your worship. He's after your time. He's got us busy. Any person here who's not busy, those of you who are retired also are busy. Why? Because he wants your worship. There is someone fighting for your worship. Because if he can stop us from worshiping God, you know what happens? Our appetite for God goes away. He's calling us back.